Hey all, what's going on? My name's Hayden and welcome to FBA TV. Now, in this channel, I talk about all things Amazon, we talk about news, we talk about discussions about Amazon, I document my journey. I'm not by no means an expert, but I am on a journey, been selling on Amazon for quite a few years now, and I just like to talk about stuff on this channel. So anyway, without further ado, in this video, I thought I'd talk about the struggles that I've had with worrying about sales. Inconsistent sales, low sales time, and as you'll know, time of watching this video, August is known as just a slow sales month in general. So I thought it'd be a good time for me to jump on here, talk about my struggles and how I've started to deal with them struggles. Now, by the way, I'm no means over this. I still struggle, and I'll openly admit, I want to be open and honest always in these videos. I do still struggle with slow sales, continuous slow sales. But in reality, what I consciously know, even though subconsciously sometimes I sort of, delude myself around this and really stress myself out around the slow sales, what I do know around the slow sales is that they always come back. The sales on Amazon always come back. So I wanted to sort of, I guess it's a bit of a reassurance in this video, but also just to talk about my experience, know that you're not the only one that struggles with slow sales. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I've been struggling, I think it was probably ever since I've started really, I've always struggled with slow sales. I've always worried when my slow sales went, and I used to track it every single day. And if I had a day that was, say, 200 quid, where maybe we usually sell 600-700 quid a day, for example, it would affect me, and it would sometimes ruin my day. It would literally be on my mind, and I'll keep checking. I know some of you watching this do the same or have done the same before, or I just keep checking. Now, I do think this is different personalities that suffer from this. I think there's some personalities that think differently, think really objectively, and they don't worry about this, but there's some personalities, like mine, that probably suffer from this a lot more. So I guess I'm talking to you. So I've suffered from this for quite a long time. I worry about sales. I kept checking. And it was only up until a couple of months ago that I actually started to really, maybe even just 6 weeks ago, really stop worrying so much. And actually, I suppose, what I want to talk about is the different points that have helped me to sort of recover from this. It sounds like a sort of drug addiction. Obviously, it's not. It's not as bad as it sounds. But it can get in the way, and it can ruin your experience of selling on Amazon, I think. It really stressed me out. There was times where I felt like I wanted to give up just because I was worried so much about low sales. So anyway, coming into this August period, which is slow sales for me, and I know it's slow sales for other people as well. I sell in the UK and the USA now, as of recently, and actually it's slow sales across the board for us. So I know that there's something going on there. I know that I speak to I've got like an inner circle unofficially of some sellers that are pretty big sellers, been doing this for years as well, just like me, and we're all experiencing the same. So I know it's normal for this time of the year. August is slow generally, but there's a few things to consider here. So one of the main things is that obviously Q4 is just around the corner. So one of the things I do now, right, differently, is understand that, look, it just comes and goes. Amazon sales come and go. They're high, they're low, they're high, they're low. Business is in and out, as Matt Webley said to me once, who some of you might know. It's never left me, that thought. Business is in and out. It's like the tide, the waves. It's in and out. It comes and it goes. It's up and it's down, and that's just business. What you should be looking at, which Luke Dugan taught me when he used to do one-to-one coaching with me years ago when I started, shout out to Luke, is that, look, you have to look at it as almost a year. Some people look at their businesses just in a day, like I was doing, like some of us do on the app, or a week. Now, sometimes that's important to judge new launches and things like that, but a lot of the time you've got to look at a business for a year, or sometimes more than that, because that's when you can really grasp if the business is working or not, because there might be times where you're not investing as much in stock, or you might be spending loads on stock, and then you've rinsed all your capital and stuff like that. So the important thing to do, I found, and what was really worked for me, is look at the business in a sort of longer stint. Don't look at it by day, maybe not even by week, unless you're really trying to track something. Generally, you want to look at it in the months, or even in the quarters, or even in the years. That's what's really helped me significantly, for sure. Now, another thing that's really helped me is understanding that not only are you looking at it in the lengths, right, but you're also looking at the different times of year. So once again, August, slow time of year, but we're remembering we've got Q4 just around the corner. So we don't really have to worry because we know that next month's going to pick up, and then the month after that could be crazy. October, November, December, Q4, biggest months of the year. You struggle to stay in stock. So instead of panicking about it, what I'm doing now is planning. I'm planning for Q4, and I'm actually enjoying the slow sales right now so that we can actually just prepare for the higher sales that we're just about to have. Right now, another thing that you can do is look at what we can start to do, and what I do if you really want to reassure yourself, is just look at the graphs, look at the keeper graphs, look at the Bybot Pro graph, whatever graph you use, look at Helium 10, whatever software you're using, have a little look and just look at the trends. Look at the trends for that particular product. Look at a few of your products, cherry pick some of your products and have a little look at the sales velocity, and you'll actually be able to see that some products are just slow right now, and they were the same last year, and they were the same before that, and that it's just, everyone's experiencing it. It's just a general up and down of that product, and that's okay. That's totally okay. It doesn't have to be selling really well all the time. What you're looking for is the consistency. And another thing that I wanted to pick up on is actually that I've noticed a huge difference. I've recently outsourced the purchasing of my business and most of the administration to my sort of operations manager, my virtual assistant, and it's really helped me stepping out of the business so that you can objectively look over the business rather than being stuck in it. I think the people that really worry about sales, like I did, like I still do sometimes, but nowhere near as much, it's changed a lot ever since I stepped out of the day-to-day running and the operations of the business. Now, obviously, I still have some involvement because I'm overlooking it, because I'm planning the future, because I can see weekly, monthly, quarterly, rather than looking at sales every single day and winding myself up. It's really helped stepping out of the business and just looking at the business rather than getting involved in the business as much. It's really helped. It's considerably helped. I think when it becomes your life and you do it hours and hours a day and you're stuck in the operations, you're doing the admin, you're doing the sourcing, you're doing all that sort of stuff, I think that's when you really struggle. I think that's when people really struggle with getting addicted to it, because you feel like you're putting so much time and sweat and energy into it. And then the sales are slow, and it knocks your motivation. You think, why am I doing this? If you step out of that, you don't feel like you've put that much time, sweat, energy, and blood, sweat, and tears into it on that particular day. Therefore, you're like, okay, cool, it's just a low sales day, and we've got to start looking at it like that. We've got to start looking at it, more over the long term rather than the short term, and letting them wind us up, because once again, I know exactly how that feels. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that video. It's just a little, just wanted to do a little thing on, slow sales, especially because we're in August, which is generally known as slow sales anyway. Probably one of the slowest months of the year, if not the slowest month of the year, as far as I'm aware. So I wanted to talk about that, and I hope that helps someone sort of, just get over any sort of mental barriers they've got around sales, like I know that I have had in the past and still deal with. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.